Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration in Focus with me, Maria Aguila, where we break down the latest immigration news and explain what it means in plain English. I'm Maria Aguila, an immigration attorney practicing in the Northeast Florida area. I have my law office in Jacksonville, Florida, and I have satellite offices in Orlando in the Tampa area. And today we're discussing an important and actually an ongoing development that is creating concerns throughout the immigrant communities across the United States. According to a recent New York Times article just posted, I believe it's July 1st of 2026, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has been significantly increasing their immigration arrest over just a 5-day period. So, today I'll explain what is happening, what it could mean for immigrants, and I'll also give you a sample overview in my second session of the immigration court process so you know what to expect if you or a loved one, friend, family, coworker becomes involved in what they call removal proceedings in immigration court. So, this will be a two-part and possibly a three-part series where number one, today, we're going to talk about what's going on with ICE enforcement that is increasing throughout the United States. The second session, second podcast, will be about a brief overview of the immigration court process. And then the third one, I'd like to bring a guest who also practices almost majority of their immigration practice handling bond and or what we call detention proceedings in removal court, as well as the actual hearings, the individual hearings and the relief filed in removal court. But today we're going to talk about ICE enforcement. So, recent reporting indicates that ICE, which, by the way, stands for Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, has dramatically increased immigration enforcement efforts, making more than 10,000 arrests. Yes, 10,000 over a 5-day period as part of a nationwide enforcement initiative. And this article in the New York Times reported that daily arrests have roughly doubled compared to earlier this year, with officials being encouraged to increase enforcement activity. So, unlike previously highly publicized operations, many of these recent arrests are reportedly occurring during routine ICE check ins, traffic stops, random street encounters, shopping at the grocery, let's say, or going to a restaurant, or other day to day interactions with immigration authorities. This means individuals may encounter immigration enforcement in situations that previously seemed routine. So let me just give you a breakdown of why is this happening? Where is this funding coming from? Well, it's coming from American taxpaying dollars, immigration detention operations. Let me tell you a little bit about the numbers, the money going towards this from our federal government. $45 billion has been specifically set aside or ring fence, they call it, for detention capacity. They already have approximately 30 billion to 38 billion allocated toward tracking, arresting, and processing undocumented individuals. This money is heavily utilized to hire over 10,000 new field officers and legal personnel to manage the removal cases. In terms of transportation and removal flights, more than $15.4 billion is earmarked strictly for deportation flights and domestic transport. And then the ongoing federal goal regarding the logistics of this detention, enforcement, removal, the flights, transportation, the funding, the logistics required to execute what the federal government goal is about a 1 million removals per year. And the detention or removal whole system works directly alongside Customs and Border Protection, or what we call CBP, which has been given upwards of 50 billion to 59 billion to fund physical border walls, surveillance technology, and agent payrolls. Additionally, around 12 billion to 14 billion dollars has been authorized to reimburse state and local jurisdictions such as Texas that deploy local law enforcement to assist federal agents with immigration enforcement and regional detentions. And yes, that includes Florida as well. So what does that mean? Well, first, it's important not to panic. An increase in enforcement does not mean that every undocumented immigrant will be arrested. However, it does mean that immigration authorities appear to be devoting more resources toward locating individuals they believe are removable under immigration law. Every person's immigration history is vastly different. Factors may include how you entered the United States, previous removal orders, criminal history, immigration violations, pending immigration applications, humanitarian protections, family based petitions, and those are just some examples. Each case must be evaluated individually. So, communities are feeling this impact. The article describes in the New York Times attorneys and immigrant advocates reporting an increased fear through the immigrant communities. Families are worried about attending their ICE appointments, driving to work, or even just grocery shopping because of concerns about possible encounters with immigration officers. The report also describes examples of individuals who were arrested during routine ICE appointments or traffic related encounters. These examples illustrate why it is important to understand your rights and seek legal advice if you have concerns about your immigration status. So, if ICE stops you or local law enforcement, remember these general guidelines. Stay calm. Never run. Never provide false documents or false information. Do not sign any paperwork you don't understand. And if possible, ask to speak with an attorney. Carry copies of important immigration documents if you have a if you have a lawful or legal status in the United States or you have a pending application. Remember, every situation is different. So my final thoughts, the recent increase in ICE arrests demonstrates that immigration enforcement priorities continue to evolve. The New York Times reports that the federal government has significantly increased arrest activity, and many attorneys across the country have observed increased enforcement in their communities. While these developments may be concerning, remember that every immigration case is different. Do not assume that what happened to someone else will happen in your case. Seek individualized legal advice before making important immigration decisions. Thank you for listening to Immigration in Focus with Maria Aguila today. If you have questions about your immigration case, immigration court, any asylum, family petitions, waivers, deportation defense, or any other immigration matters, I would be happy to speak with you. You may call me to schedule a consultation 904-385-9377. Again, that's 904-385-9377. You can find my website at www.immigrationlawfla.com. Schedule a confidential consultation today to discuss your immigration options. Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and I'll see you next time on Immigration in Focus with Maria Aguila.